For some reason, I sense trouble behind that gate. Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. Last time we managed to clear up everything we can do in Summer Forest, and managed to take out the first of one of Ripto's henchmen, Crush. And we also got started in the second main area of the game, which is the Autumn Plains. So today we are going to be continuing our journey by taking care of all the different levels we can in this area. But we're probably not going to be able to finish everything we can do in the Autumn Plains in this session, because there's a lot of levels here, so definitely got some work ahead of us here. So the first thing I want to do, I actually want to take this whirlwind so we can go up here, as I thought it'd be nice to start things off with a speedway stage. There's only a couple of these in the game, so might as well knock them out right here. As stated before, you don't need to do these levels for progressing the story, since they don't offer talismans. However, there is other great uses to coming here, namely for getting a lot of gems if you manage to complete their challenges. So over here in the Metro Speedway, we've certainly got a lot we can take care of around here. We got these pigeons that are weighing down these switches. Then we have these bungee jumping guys that we can also take care of around this area. So yeah, definitely want to start off with the pigeons and then move on to the bungee jumping guys. Then we're going to have to see what else we got to take care of around here. Alright, that's the last of the bungee jumpers. So next, we got some gates that we can go through. So we got a dash panel that we can get over there. So sometimes you'll see the floor having arrows, and that means you're able to do a supercharge, which is one of our main abilities. So that's always very important to consider when going through here. And with that taken care of, the last of the objectives we need to do over there. So now, we gotta take care of these walrus guys on top of these pillars out in the water. Yeah, I quite like the setting of this area, how it's a lot more industrial, and just the way this place looks in, and just that, in the dusk sky, it just looks so good. But yep, like that, we were able to take care of all of the main objectives around here in our first attempt, so we got the full 400 gems by completing this level. However, we want to hop back in here because there is yet another objective we can do in this speedway. And looking at things here, we want to go not in the water, thank you. So in order to get to the next objective we need to do, we are gonna have to find a secret over by this waterfall. So yeah, there's a hidden compartment we can go to here.
We've been having a crime problem here in Metro Speedway, but I think you might be able to help. A band of cat burglars have been raiding my re-election funds by scaling the walls of the buildings. Would you be willing to help get rid of them?
Sure thing, sir.
Great! Hunter can knock the scoundrels off of the buildings, but we'll need you to catch the loot before it lands in the canal and gets lost. Good luck. Hunter is waiting for you outside.
Okay, so we got ourselves another mission to do in this speedway. So we're going to be traveling all over here, and Hunter is going to be helping us out with this mission. You'll just blast the cat burglars, and then you want to grab the bag of loot that falls down. You don't need to worry about any of the other things in this area, just grab the bags of loot and we're good. Yeah, very simple mission, just follow along Hunter, and there's really not much else to it. It's a pretty decent mission, all things considered. Luckily, the gems have a pretty sizable hitbox, it seems. Whoa. Where are you? There you are. almost lost track of Hunter there, but we should be good. Also like that Hunter has this futuristic blaster in this level.
You really taught those crooks a lesson.
And by completing that little side mission, we get ourselves yet another orb. Aw man, we got 30 already. It's actually very close to the amount you need to be able to fight the final boss. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so with that taken care of, we are free to return back to the Autumn Plains. And that is the first of 2 speedways we could do here in the Autumn Plains. Of course, we still got some other objectives we want to take care of. So, how about we get started on some new levels in this area? Starting with an area that I believe we had to pay money bags in order to be able to unlock. Yep, this is Zephyr. And it's definitely going to be an interesting level for a few reasons. Let's jump right in. Oh dear. This game really loves killing off its characters, doesn't it?
Okay, Spyro. Looks like we got us a bit of a situation here. The breeze builders have got us pinned down, and we've been waiting for a volunteer to blow up their munitions building. Looks like you're it.
So over here in this area, these insect guys are being attacked by the breeze builders, which are a race of avian enemies. We definitely got ourselves a lot of work cut out for us in this area. These guys can be definitely troublesome. They've got a lot of weapons they can use against us if you're not careful. So definitely watch out. Yeah, those big eagle-like guys will throw missiles at the small birds, and then they will spit the munitions out at you. So, yeah, definitely gotta be careful here. Luckily, we do possess Super Flame, which will be very useful at taking these guys out from a distance. So we shouldn't have to worry too much about these guys. Definitely want to remember to try and grab as many of the gems here in the early section of Zephyr, as I remember the last time I played this area getting a little bit stuck when it came to gem collection. And it turns out I actually missed a few of the gems that were in the opening area. But yeah, we have a lot to do in this area. See another thing we can get over there with our flame. That knocks down a bunch more gems we can grab. I believe that there is a certain thing we can do in this area that... Let's just get over here for now. Ow, sorry. I'm just gonna need to do a glide across this gap. Very good. And take out this small fry. Yep, got this guy in the cannon.
Working for me. Do you think you can blast that bird, soldier? Jump up here and give it a try.
Sure thing there. So we can now mount this cannon, which are able to change the angle of the shots using the direction stick, and then fire away. This is how you're meant to blast a couple of the things in this area. And there was also a hidden passage over there we could also blast with the cannon. So yeah, this is definitely an area where the native population is at war with an invading group of birds. Also, yeah, I do like the theming of this area, how we're trying to help some caterpillars out against some invading birds. Oh man, that is pretty thematically appropriate with this setting, which obviously war is not something that you'll want to try and make light of, but with this context, it definitely makes things a bit more, I don't know, palatable, is that what I'm trying to think here? It's like a very exaggerated conflict despite the obvious, like... with just the obvious connotations of this being an area in the midst of war. We're not going to worry too much about that and just keep on going through here. So you definitely want to watch out for those big birds, as they can launch TNT at you. Obviously do quite a bit of damage. Let's blast another one of those balloons, and then we can break ourselves an opening there. Also want to head down here to take care of some other objectives, but for now just want to head over this way. Yeah, this area really isn't too bad, especially when you're doing New Game Plus and have access to the Super Flame. It makes it really good to take care of most of these avian adversaries. We got another butterfly we can grab there for an extra life. Also quite like in this game how it does save the lives you've collected over the course of the adventure, even if you decide to save and quit, which is definitely very nice. I like it when games do that. It seems kind of arbitrary in some games how they completely remove the ability to... well, they just remove your stockpile of lives for, like, no reason. And now we want to fire cannon over here, over into this ammunition depot that the birds have been using. And there we go. So that should limit their invasion of this area by quite a bit. Let's grab those couple gems over there, and we should be good to move on to where we need to go next. So this should be the end of the area already.
Wow, what an explosion! It sure is a good thing I had my helmet on. Oh yeah, the Colonel wanted me to give this talisman to you if you got through the Breeze Builder defenses. Good job, soldier.
So by helping out the residents here against the Breeze Builders, we get ourselves another talisman. So we could end things off here. However, we actually are able to finish up Zephyr in our first visit. It does require getting the climbing ability in order to complete this area, so make sure you get that before coming around here. So we got ourselves a fellow over here to help.
My name is Little Bo Peep, and I've lost my cowlicks. With these battles going on all of the time, they keep running away. Can you help me get them back into my pen?
Sure thing, Bo Peep. So for this mission, we gotta get the cowlicks into Bo Peep's pen. The cowlicks, of course, being these things here. I don't know what these are. They're like a cross between a cow, an elephant, and an anteater. Pretty silly design on these guys. Yep, just need to escort them over to the pen. So the cowlicks will be scattered all over this place, so you definitely want to be persistent with searching around here for them. You can use either the flames or by using charges in order to launch them. Though it seems like the super flame launches them even farther than charging does. So that's definitely another reason to go for New Game Plus here. It certainly has been helping us out during this journey. Alright, very good. Managed to grab these guys in here. Now we gotta find the rest of the cowlicks. And for that, we're gonna need to climb up this ladder here. This takes us to an area we can actually get Super Flame. We also got these birds to deal with. We've dealt with plenty of these Breeze Builders before, so shouldn't have too much trouble against these guys. But yep, we got Super Flame as a main ability in this area, which you know seemed kind of fitting given the whole war theme going on, that we would naturally get a more offensive special ability here. Alright, now this segment is obviously going to need to use the Super Flame to launch the Cowlex over this way, so that we can eventually get them over to the pen. So yeah, definitely need to make good use of our powers here. And there's a couple more gems we can grab. And even one up there on that pillar. Okay, we'll grab another one of these and we should be good. Oh, it's another one of these. So yeah, we got the return of this urn that we saw back in the Skelos Badlands. And we're definitely gonna want to move that so that we can continue with this objective. And also we got to take care of the Cowlex. It's actually a mission that's going to take up a good amount of our time here in Zephyr. So just need to knock these guys down here. And the pen is right over this way. So let's just blast them over. Also a few more gems we can pick up down there. Very good. Get in there.
Thanks, Spyro. Here's a little something for, you know, the effort.
Thank you for that, Bo Peep. So we get ourselves yet another orb by completing that mission.
There are 2 more Cowlex out there somewhere, but I haven't seen them in days.
So now we got to find 2 more Cowlex somewhere in this world and take care of them. Alright, so that's definitely going to take us a little while to track those guys down. Also want to mention the mission with the Cowlex. I know I brought up Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, in one of the earlier stream sessions. I want to bring up now because this mission does remind me a lot about one of the missions in that game, where you have to help out a farmer in getting his livestock into their pens. Yeah, just kind of funny how these 2 games have very similar style missions.
What light from yonder window breaks? That window up there, dummy! The professor said he was working on a way to help me get back with Juliet, but I haven't seen him in a long time.
So got ourselves a reference to classic literature here. So it seems like one of the bugs here has an affinity for a breeze builder lady named Juliet. Yeah, the obvious allusion to that story is quite obvious. But over here, we once more got some Cowlex that we got to escort back to the farmer. Definitely like to take care of these guys first before we get started on the rest of the objectives in this area. The flame is definitely quite useful for taking care of some of these guys. Actually, don't need to worry too much about taking out enemies, because at this point we have managed to unlock the means of getting our super ability in this area. Alright, can you move over, buddy? Yeah, a good chunk of this area is going to be spent dealing with the Cowlex. We still got one more we gotta take care of, but it should not take as long to handle, at least compared to this guy. Let's launch you over there. Okay, we should be just about done with you. Alright, get on over. Get along, little Cowlex. Alright, so we just got one more to deal with, and it should be in the Romeo and Juliet area. So definitely want to help this guy out, as well as track down that last Cowlex. So this area also introduces another interesting gimmick that we're definitely going to be spending some time with. Oh, there's the other Cowlex. Alright, so we're going to be blasting you over to the farm in just a second. So while we're dealing with this mission and just getting this guy over here, what is some stuff that we can talk about? Well, one thing I wanted to say is I've been having a pretty good day so far. Actually at the start of a 2-day break from work, which I am very thankful for. It's given me a good opportunity just to rest. Although, for whatever reason, my neck is kind of sore today, so I'm gonna be trying not to move it as much while we're going through our objectives here. Yeah, hopefully it should be feeling better by tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just kind of taking it easy here, and definitely going to be spending some nice time taking it easy tomorrow. So I've been looking at my schedule for what I'm going to be working on in this week and next week, and I have a good feeling we should actually be finishing up the Spyro 2 streams by next week, which I'm quite happy about.
Well, I am impressed. You got all 7 cowlicks for me. Here's a fair reward.
So by escorting all 7 cowlicks to the pen, we get ourselves another orb from Bo Peep. So there should be just one more orb we gotta get here. But this one is definitely gonna require a lot more work to get. As over in this section, we have to help out Romeo in order to get to his lady-in-waiting. And for that, we're gonna need some assistance. So go over here, we can see the professor.
Spyro, my boy, I've got a magic beam, seed for you in here somewhere. Ah, here it is. Why don't you plant it in the ground and see what grows?
So our mission here is going to involve these seeds that we can pick up from the professor. Planting them in certain spots will cause a platform to appear, which is going to be quite helpful with taking care of some of the objectives around here. And of course, if you want to put the seed in a different location, you can simply breathe fire on it, and that will cause it to regress back into a seed. I actually want to grab this one before we can move on here, because we are going to need multiple seeds for this mission. See, there's something we're going to need to plant there, maybe. So that we'll want to consider. Alright, we want to plant that one down there. And then we're going to want to go back here and grab this seed. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting mission here, making use out of all of these seeds and using them in order to progress in this area. Definitely a neat little puzzle here. So now we got these 2 platforms up here. We can now grab this seed, and then we can plant you right there. Very good. So now that brings us up here where we have yet another seed. And you can probably expect what we need to do. Want to throw that one down there to make yet another platform. So now we can go over here and just blast these guys. Now we can grab this seed. And we're going to want to put you right there. And I've been pretty good at the aiming there, man. Alright, so we should be just near the end of this section. Oh, we got the professor over here again. Definitely gonna need his help with this next part.
Well done, my boy. Here are 2 more seeds to get you the rest of the way. Oh, and take this with you if you don't mind. It's been cluttering up my pockets.
So the professor is gonna give us yet another orb. Very nice. And now we gotta make use of these seeds. So what I want to do first, we're going to avoid planting one there at the moment. And just want to get up here. Alright, thinking about the progress we need to make here. We're gonna put this seed here, and then we need to grab this one. Let's fly over here, and then want to put you... I can aim this... Sorry. I know I was gonna start struggling at this part. We can shoot you from a higher vantage point. That would be better. Alright, let's spit you down there, giving us a space that we can hop across here, allowing us to plant yet another bean here. And that takes us to Juliet.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Oh, there's Romeo. You can have this. I don't need it anymore.
So by helping reunite the two lovers, we get ourselves another orb. It is pretty wholesome that even with their different races fighting against each other, that they were able to find love together. Very sweet. And with that, we have now gathered all of the orbs that we need in this area. However, we are not done with gems, oddly enough.
Oh, I've missed my Romeo. If he wasn't so short, we'd get married.
Wow! Lady, what the heck? Okay, we still need to grab another gem before we're done here. Or maybe a few. Okay, yeah, I see what we need to do now. Yeah, it took me a while to remember this. So we've got to dispatch with this urn, which should take us all the way back to the start of this area. Alright, there's the next urn. And then the last one is over by the starting point. So yeah, this one has definitely carried us all throughout this area. But we should be just about done here once we take care of you. Blast you open and collect the goodies. Alright, with that we got 400 gems, which means we have now 100%ed this area. Very good. Alright, so let's go ahead to the end of level gate, and we should be able to move on. It's like, I do know that we could always use the guidebook in order to go to another level, but I don't know, it feels more professional to end the levels by going to the end of level gate. I don't know. So we are just about done here. Woo! Very nice! That was a pretty good run of Zephyr. Wow, that was mean. Wow, we got 2,500 gems. I know a certain Earth sign who's going to be very happy about that. But yep, that's everything we need to do in Zephyr done. So now that we are finished with that level, I think it's time that we head over here to the level where I sense that we might see some trouble. Yep, we are going to Breeze Harbor next. So this level is basically part 2 of the conflict between the Breeze Builders and these guys.
Please excuse the mess, Spyro.
We are currently suffering from a land blubber infestation. First, they put out the fires in our boilers, and now they've shut down our ship, too. If you could stoke up the fires under the boilers, I'm sure you could make your way to the ship. The steam from the boilers will activate our highly advanced machinery.
So yeah, in this level, instead of fighting against the breeze builders, now we have to fight against the land blubbers. So kind of interesting how we're basically fighting on both sides of this conflict between these different peoples. There's a lot of implications there, but I don't want to go into that right now. But as that breeze builder we talked to mentioned, we're going to be needing to light fires in certain areas to activate the machinery in this area. Also, you see those big sphere guys? Yeah, those are nasty. You want to take care of all of these guys as we're going through here. So yeah, definitely an interesting idea having us having to get to see two different perspectives of this conflict between the breeze builders and the land blubbers. Sorry there, Zoe. Didn't mean to hit you there. Just wanted to break that thing, whatever it is. It's got another fire that we can light over here. And I'm sure we should be able to get over here. Grab a couple of gems. Very nice. Alright, and we got some water we gotta dive into to grab a couple things. Okay, not bad. Also like just the general atmosphere of this area, how we're at night, and I don't know, this area just being a very mechanized port area is just pretty cool thematically. Of course, got some of these land blubbers we gotta take care of. So the ones in the metal bucket, I don't believe you're able to defeat normally using fire. However, since we do have our super flame, we're able to take care of them. And yeah, sometimes the land blubbers will come over to extinguish the fire. And that's why you want to handle them by just taking care of them so that they don't extinguish the fire.
Those land blubbers have littered these metal spike mines all over the harbor. If you can clear them out, I'll give you this orb I found in a clam yesterday.
So now we got a mission to take care of the floating mines that are around here. We can, of course, board this cannon in order to take care of them. Really isn't too bad. It just wait until you're firing at the right angle, and you should be good. Like, got one more of these guys to take out here. Very nice. And we should also be able to hit that. That's going to get ourselves some nice gems to take care of in a bit. So, what's some other stuff that we can talk about while we're doing some of the things around here? So very recently, one of my friends, Master Starman, has actually been doing some live streams of Final Fantasy VI again, which has definitely gotten me excited to go back to that game pretty soon. So I definitely have a lot of games on my backlog that I need to take care of, and Final Fantasy VI is definitely one of them, because I'm actually pretty close to getting to the end of that particular game. I'm pretty much the last thing I need to worry about is taking care of the final dungeon, so that's something I'll definitely want to work towards sometime soon. I would definitely like to jump back into playing that sometime this year. There's a bunch of games that I wanted to actually go back to and finish, and I definitely want to make that a main goal of mine this year.
Here's that orb I promised. Sorry if it still has clam juice on it.
I have never really eaten clams before, so I really do not know what that would taste like. But yep, we get ourselves another orb by taking care of those mines. Alright, we can now ride these airboats over to where we need to go. And then we got ourselves some more things we gotta take care of around here. So we got these larger land blubbers with their water cannons. Oh yeah, they're too big for us to ram, so we're gonna have to blast them with our fire. So that is gonna be a catapult we're gonna need to take in a bit. Let's just kill that clam so that we can grab some extra life. Definitely need some of that. I believe over here, yeah, we're gonna need to activate that gate if we're gonna want to complete this area. So I want to remember that for later. Alright, so now those guys are taken care of. We can light this fire, and we should be good to use this catapult. Whee! And this launches us onto the boat that we heard about. So gonna need to get this boat taken care of so that we are able to help out the breeze builders here. Oh yeah, this area want to actually set the fires here in order to lure the land blubbers over. And then when they come over to take care of the flames, we can just charge over and blast them. Yep, with that guy taken care of, we should be just about done here. Now that both fires are lit, the ship can rise again. Very nice. I see some gems over there we need to grab. And there's a thing over there we gotta deal with, but we'll save that for just a bit. Actually, see a thing we need to break. Let's go ahead and blast that. And then we can grab this loot. We'll be back over here in just a second to take care of another objective. For now, I want to get back on the boat. Hello, sir.
Thanks for getting our ship fired up, Spyro. Now we can proceed with our counterattack on Zephyr. Please take this talisman as a token of our gratitude.
And with that, we get ourselves yet another talisman. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about supporting both of these guys in this war against each other. Maybe someday they'll eventually learn to get over their differences. I don't know. But now we can grab these gems that were waiting for us over here. So that's very good. And we should be pretty close to the end here when it comes to progress. Just needed to do a little bit of backtracking over to where we need to go next. And of course, like my buddy Sparx will let me know where the next gems we need are going to be. So for now, it seems we just need to go over here. Which is fine by me, as this is where our main objective is going to be. Alright, so we're going to go over this way, and we're going to use this power to leap all the way up here. And going to quickly grab these gems before we start this next mission. So with that, we got ourselves all the gems in Breeze Harbor. Now it's time for this mission.
How lucky for me that you came along. My machinery is broken, and the gears I need to repair it are scattered all over the tracks. Can you hop on that trolley up there and collect them for me?
So this is one of the more infamous missions in this game. We gotta collect 50 gears using a trolley. Now this thing, I know, can be quite awkward to use. you needed to collect all of the gears, which requires moving between the different tracks, jumping and maneuvering yourself in order to grab everything you need. And definitely want to be careful. All throughout this area, you'll see hazards pop up like pits you need to jump over or crates that you needed to evade. Then, of course, you want to hit those in order to change which track you're going to be moving to. This mission can be pretty tricky to get through.
Trouble with the trolley, eh? Well, use the left stick to change lanes. Press the jump button to jump, and press the attack button to fire the cannon.
We're going to be getting used to hearing trouble with the trolley, eh, for quite a bit. Yeah, this really is one of the more infamous parts of this game. It's not too bad, but it can get a little troublesome when you're going through this area and you accidentally make the one maneuver that you shouldn't do, and you just have to redo the entire sequence over again. It's a bit of a pain. Alright, let's launch you there so that we can get back this way. So, box to jump over. Gonna take this path. Woo! Alright, I was able to grab all that loot over there. Now we're gonna need to take another path through this area. So I'm gonna destroy that TNT. Just want to hit that over there so that we can grab these gears. And we should be pretty close to the end here. We need to... Oh, God, not again.
Trouble with the trolley, eh?
Ah, man, this sequence. I really don't have much else to say about it. It is rather awkward, and it'll be really tedious to have to gather all of the gears again if you screw up one part. At the very least, we're having a better time of this than I did in the stream attempt I made at this back when I was doing my operations on Twitch on my older PC. So obviously, that made things a heck of a lot more awkward for us. We're trying to do things. Thankfully, these stream sessions have been very good so far when it comes to just how games have been running and my game capturing. So, have a very good... Oh, come on! I was trying to turn there. I guess it's an opportunity to say that I am really looking forward to some of the games that I plan to stream later on this year, as well as some of the years coming up. As I just feel like with my new PC and just with how things have been a lot more stable lately, both in terms of the stream performance and how things have been with my new internet service, I definitely have a good feeling that we're going to be able to do a lot of streams of games that I wouldn't have been able to do normally before. Because there's definitely a lot that I've had a really good idea on what I want to do for quite some time. Because I would really like to do a Monster Hunter game. I'm also very keen on getting started with a playthrough of Subnautica, which is like one of my favorite games of all time. I'm really looking forward to getting into that sometime. And yeah, I'm also have an idea about maybe doing some Genshin Impact streams. Although that is obviously going to take a long while before we get started on that, I feel. But you know, I am quite looking forward to eventually doing those different games. Last gear right there.
That was great work, Spyro. Now I can start fixing my machines. Here, I don't have room in my toolbox for this thing anymore.
So with that, we have finally finished our trouble with the trolley. And that should be the last thing we need. Why am I here? Why'd I go back on this accursed thing? Please die.
Trouble.
No, I don't have any trouble with the trolley. I'm done with the trolley. I don't have to see the trolley ever again. Until I inevitably decide to replay this game, because, you know, I really like Spyro 2. But yep, we are done with Breeze Harbor, now that we've taken care of those missions. No, don't hit me! Hit him! Oh, no, hit him! No, please! God, some of the guys in this game just really... They really go for a lot, don't they? I mean, using your own men as ammunition for a cannon, that is just wild. But with that, managed to take care of a good amount of levels over there in the Autumn Plains. And we still got quite a bit we need to do before we are done here. So we got to climb our way up the tower so that we can enter a new place for us to explore. So we got plenty of time for this, so let us head off to another world. It's time for Scorch.
Huh?
Oh boy. Oh man, this level is interesting.
Hello, Spyro. My brother Handel and I have been sent here to blow up this castle, but Handel got caught by these evil soldiers and I'm stuck out here. If you can open the doors that block the way, I can find Handel and we can complete our super secret spy mission.
So this is a rather rare sight in the Spyro series. We actually got ourselves our first humans that we've gotten to interact with. So yeah, we got to help out Greta here in order to save her brother Handel. So apparently these kids are tasked with taking care of a secret spy mission here over in Scorch, which is kind of interesting. Definitely an interesting concept for an area. So yeah, what we gotta do is hit these switches in order to open up the path forward. Then we got these large purple fellows to take care of. And also these camel-like creatures. Kind of weird because they look like camels, but they only have 2 legs, which is like really weird to me. Oh well, I guess there's a lot of bizarre fauna here in the Spyro series. But yeah, the name of the game here is helping out Greta and trying to maneuver our way through this area. However, we also got a mission with our boy Hunter to take care of.
The monkeys have escaped from the Avalar Zoo, and I've been sent here to catch them. But they keep throwing coconuts at me, and it hurts. Can you help me out?
So this mission, we gotta help
Just
out
charge
Hunter.
the tree before I get hit. I'll be able to catch the monkeys as they fall. Follow me.
So, I don't really know how major of a mission this really is concerning some of the other things that have been going on. But yeah, we gotta do is help Hunter catch the monkeys. So we simply got to ram into the tree in order to knock him down. Could you not do that, sir? You can simply knock them down in order to keep them from doing anything bad. to Hunter here. Then you can knock him down when he's in position to get them in the barrels. Alright, let's knock you down. And you'll get caught. But yeah, I don't know why we're prioritizing capturing these monkeys right now when, you know, Ripto is still out there committing evil deeds and whatnot. But sure, I guess we can take care of this. We can capture the monkeys. Alright, let's knock this guy down. Alright, let's stun this guy. And we should be good here.
Thanks for your help, Spyro. Please, take this. One of the monkeys had it.
And that gets us yet another orb. Oh, we are so close to getting enough orbs to actually take on the final boss of the game. That's quite interesting. Of course, we got some other things to handle. So we can easily break that apart with our current abilities, so might as well take care of that. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting area in terms of its theming. It's obviously based on a more of an Arabian setting compared to where we have been previously in our adventure, which I know is certainly a quite nice locale for getting some very nice visuals. But I don't really know about like the concept of this area's story where we have two white kids infiltrating an Arabian town for spy work. I don't know, that seems kind of weird, don't you think? Yeah, besides that, I do like this area. It's definitely got quite a bit we can do here. And definitely a lot of things we can collect. Ow. These guys are really nasty with those shots. I'm actually almost dead here. Yeah, we don't currently have our boy Sparx, so we gotta take out some of these guys here. So yeah, the ow! That was definitely nasty. Alright, we should probably... Alright, we got a thing we can... Ow! Never mind. We should be fine because we just got to Zoe in this section of the level. So yeah, we should be fine. So I wanted to get these little snakes that are in that basket, as those are the enemies that drop butterflies in this area. But sadly, we weren't able to do that. We can fly up here now and just explode a whole bunch of stuff to get gems. Very, very nice. Gonna collect all of these goodies. Very nice. It's a nice, delicious gemstones. I know I keep mentioning, like, gems being delicious with context of this game. It's like, I don't really know why the dragons collect gems in the Spyro series. I just keep thinking about how in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, how they establish that dragons actually eat gems, and how they're the favorite food of the main character, Spike. So that's kind of what I'm thinking every time I'm collecting the gems in this area, because, you know, we're not just getting treasure, we're also getting, you know, a snack for Spyro, or something. I don't know if he actually eats the gems. That is not something I am aware of with regards to the series lore. Yeah, we got some more of these characters to deal with. We should be pretty close to the end here now. So yeah, we got Greta over here at the end, as well as some other fellows to take care of. Should be just about done here.
Spyro, you make a great secret agent. Now Handel and I can complete our mission. By the way, you can have this talisman. I stole it when the soldiers weren't looking.
Alright, so we get ourselves a talisman by helping out Greta. And that opens up the portal out of here. However, we are not quite done with this area just yet. We still got some gems and yet another orb we gotta track down and scorch before we are good to move on. Also, there is a super flame power we can get here. So how about we talk to Handle?
Hey, Spyro. We need those flags to prove our secret mission was successful. But the flag keeper keeps stealing them. If you can knock the flag keeper down, you could bring the flags back. My secret decoder ring says that this power-up thing should help you.
So yep, you're gonna need to use the super flame in order to deal with one of the big threats in this area. Also managed to acquire the last of the gems we need here. But yeah, we really don't need to worry too much about the super flame, really. As we already have this as a power. But yeah, what we gotta do here is deal with one of the things around here. Let's look around. Oh, there he is. We've got ourselves the Flag Keeper, which is our last threat we gotta take care of in this area. Simply got to blast him with fire to knock him down.
So, you want that flag, eh, Dragon? Well, two can play at this bombing game. Let's go.
Alright, so now we got to avoid the magic bombs that the Flag Keeper is going to throw at us. And we just got to escort this guy over to where Handle is. Really not that hard of a mission. Just watch out for the bombs and you should be good. You do gotta be careful because the bombs will bounce around as you're going through this area. Alright.
Great, but there are still 2 flags out there.
So now we gotta track down the next flag. So we got to go over to another location where the Flag Keeper is going to hide. Oh, there he is. Blast this sucker down.
Still after my flags, Dragon?
And now we got to escort him back to Handle, only this time the path is going to be a bit longer, since we had to go over to the middle flag. And this one is definitely an interesting mission. Not one of my favorites in the game, but hey, it's still better than trouble with a trolley, eh? Come on, we almost got you, you big... Alright.
You're so close, Spyro. Just one more flag.
Alright, so we just gotta take care of the Flag Keeper one more time, and we are done here in Scorch. So this definitely hasn't been too bad of a run through this area. But we still got some other things to take care of, which hoping we can get done pretty soon. So now he is all the way at the start of the level. We gotta blast him down.
You won't get my last flag so easily, Purple Beast.
We'll see about that. So now we got the last Flag Keeper mission. We have to go all through the level this time. Yeah, there is not much else to it. He's just gonna keep throwing his magic bombs, and we got to avoid getting hit. Ow!
Ha! You won't beat me, Dragon. All right then, let's go.
Yeah, it's a shame that getting hit with a bomb doesn't just damage you it actually prevents you from being able to continue the mission. And then you have to restart it over again. It's definitely quite a tedious choice of having to do progression here. I certainly wouldn't have had that as a condition had I made this game. What do I know? I've never made a game myself. Alright, we are almost done here. Ow, come on! This guy is not that difficult. He's just really annoying with all of those bombs that he's throwing. Okay, we are almost done here. There we go.
Great job, Agent Spyro. How can we repay you for your efforts? How about this orb that I found in the sand?
And by helping out Handle there, we get ourselves another orb. Thank you for that. And that should be the last objective we need in this area. Yep. So we've 100%ed Scorch, so it's time to move on. Honestly, it didn't take that long to finish. Well, that explains why 2 children were sent on a spy mission. So yeah, it turns out these 2 have superpowers. And believe it or not, that isn't the last time we're going to see Greta or Handle in the Spyro series. We'll definitely be seeing them again relatively soon. But now it's time for another level. And just a heads up, this one is not going to be a level we can finish in our first visit. Welcome to Fracture Hills.
Well, hello there, Mr. Dragon. You're pretty cute for a quadruped. I wish I could take you on a tour of our temple, but a bunch of lousy Earth-shapers have encased it in stone.
First, I'll want to say, God, I love the design of this fawn character. God, she's so cute. But yeah, here in this area, we've got ourselves quite a bit we can take care of, though we're not going to be able to finish everything in this area. So the main gimmick of this area is that the satyrs have been turned to stone by the Earth Shapers. And we gotta free all of the imprisoned satyrs so that we can access their temple. This area really isn't too big, so it shouldn't take us too long to do this.
There are still some more satyrs trapped in stone.
Yeah, definitely an interesting level. How this one has a focus on European folklore with the inclusion of fauns and satyrs. Also, I like to imagine that Fracture Hills is actually the home of Elora, since she is also a faun and that there are fauns in this area. It just kind of makes sense to me. But yeah, we got ourselves quite a few satyrs to rescue. And a lot of these enemies we gotta take care of. This mission also reminds me a bit of one of the main things you can do in... Like, one of the main objectives of Spyro 1 was trying to help dragons that were imprisoned in crystal. So, this one is definitely very thematically appropriate, given that Spyro already has a history of saving petrified creatures. Ha! Ah, that's pretty funny. So yeah, the Earth Shapers here are normally quite the fearsome foes to deal with, as they are big stone guys, but we have super flames, so we can actually take them out pretty easily. This area also has a lot of lava, so definitely want to watch out not to fall in there. Yeah, we will definitely want to take care of all of the Earth Shapers around here, as well as save all the satyrs. As I said before, we're not going to be able to fully complete this area on our first visit, and we'll definitely get to see why pretty soon. For now, let's just focus on taking out these creeps. Alright, so that path over there is pretty much open to us. Let's take out the little piggy to get ourselves some more health back. This area also has a lot of enemies we gotta deal with that are disguised as greenery. So we got some bushes that will try to ambush you, and then try to chomp on you. And then we also have those trees with the beehives in them, so I believe they will try to throw the beehives at you, so definitely watch out if you get close to them. So I really do love the atmosphere of the place, how it's all nighttime, and just the feel of this area with all of the European folklore inspiration behind it. Yeah, it just feels really good to be here. So we're about 2/3 of the way done this mission already. While we're taking care of some of the things here, something else I wanted to mention is I've been playing Pokemon Soul Silver again very recently due to a certain Let's Play that's been going on that I am quite fond of, and definitely having a pretty good time of it. So pretty recently I managed to get to the part of the game where you have access to the Safari Zone. And so I've actually been spending the last couple of days trying to catch all of the different Pokemon you can find in the Safari Zone and just seeing what kinds of Pokemon I may want to add to my team.
It's great to be free. Now there's only one satyr left to rescue.
Yep, just one more to take care of, and then we are done with that main mission. Yeah, it's definitely been fun going through Soul Silver again, as I obviously have a lot of attachment to the remakes of the Generation 2 games. And I've also been uploading a lot of the VODs from the Pokemon Soul Silver Nuzlocke that I did on Twitch a couple years ago. So that's been definitely very fun to go through. Definitely had a lot of positive memories regarding that particular series of streams. What else can we get around here? Oh, get you out of here. Alright, so I know where the last satyr is. However, grab a butterfly. Definitely want to grab you before we're done here. Just want to check behind this house, see if there's anything. No. Alright, let's go talk to you.
Oh, a dragon! Perhaps you can help. My friend is locked in this room and lost the key.
Do you know how hard it is to find a locksmith at this time of night?
So we got a mission to break down this door. Yeah, if you have a super flame, you can just blast it open. But that is not the intended way you're supposed to do this mission. We'll get into that in a bit.
Thank goodness you broke that door down for me. I thought I'd be stuck in here forever. I found this fancy orb in here. Please, take it.
So by helping out this fawn, we get ourselves another orb. Very nice. Alright, with current progress we are at, I think we can go take care of this. Let's free the last satyr and open up the temple.
Now that you have rescued all the satyrs in Fracture Hills, you ought to explore the temple.
That we shall. We managed to take care of all of the satyrs around here. So now we can make our way over to the temple. Also grab this gem that we missed before. Definitely want to be careful of that. Grab some more gems we can find here.
Oh, hi, Dragon Boy. You're probably expecting me to say, "You're my hero. Thanks for saving poor, helpless little me." Sorry, short stuff. I was only in here because I like the peace and quiet. Anyway, the other fawns wanted me to give you this talisman.
Well, certainly not the, thank you I was expecting, but at the very least we got ourselves another talisman. Now, we could head for the portal right now, but I do believe we should be able to gather the last of the gems in this area. For the record, there's some more stuff to do in this area, but we are not going to be able to complete the other objectives here until a bit later. So we got some more herb shapers around here, and then, oh no, our buddy
Just
Hunter's
stand
stuck.
still, he says. I'll turn your boots to gold, he says. Oh, hi, Spyro. You're a sight for sore eyes. I'd appreciate it mightily if you could locate that alchemist. He owes me a favor.
It seems like Hunter has gotten himself into a bit of a problem here. So we're not going to be able to help him out until a bit later. There's a mission over here with an alchemist we could do in order to help out Hunter. However, I do not recommend doing this mission now. So we're going to save that until much later when we are on our second visit to Fracture Hills. Because we're not going to be able to get the ultimate reward for this area until later. For now, let's just grab the last of the gems we need to get here. And at this point, I think we are ready to begin using this portal. Well, this power. So we got ourselves a supercharge we can do here. So with the supercharge, we can naturally run very fast and then break through obstacles that we could not get past before. Which is very handy when going through these tunnels over here. And obviously very helpful for breaking through there. And with that, we were actually able to get the last of the gems we needed in this area. So the supercharge is the intended way that you're supposed to free the fawn that's trapped in that one building. Supposed to follow a bunch of different paths over here using the supercharge until you're finally at a position where you can ram through the door. However, we did not need to take care of it that way, as naturally we have the super flame, which can also break through the door, believe it or not. But with that, we were able to get all the gems in this area. We're gonna have to come back later to get the orbs, though. So, yep, we're not able to finish this area on our first visit. It seems like the Earth Shapers eventually learned to appreciate the satyr's music. And maybe those guys will not be attacking each other in the future. Or maybe they will. So with Fractured Hills taken care of for the time being, it's time for us to move on to another area. So we got plenty of time for this now. So let's head off to the Magma Cone. Oh man, this is gonna be a cool area. Well, not exactly cool. Wow, that is grim. So yeah, we got ourselves another lava area. I like to imagine that the Magma Cone is very close to Fracture Hills, given that this area also features lava and also features fawns.
Hello, Spyro. I suppose you're here for the party. I'm afraid it's been cancelled because the stupid Earth Shapers set off the volcano.
So yeah, we got ourselves male fawns in this area. So perhaps Elora isn't from the Magma Cone, but she is probably a native to Fracture Hills. Yeah, kind of cool seeing how all these different areas intersect, you know? So of course we got ourselves Earth Shapers to take care of. Got a bunch of these guys all over the place. What we need to do is, knock these guys over here so that the satyrs can take care of them for us. And obviously we have the Super Flame, so we can use that to also take care of these guys. Yeah, we got these small Earth Shapers over here. They're definitely some of the more annoying enemies to take care of, because they'll shoot energy blasts at you that you got to obviously worry about. Yeah, I thought that there was going to be some gems hidden over here by the lava. Alright, so with those taken care of, we should be good at this point to make our way deeper into this area. So this is another area that requires climbing, but we need to be able to climb just to be able to access this area in the first place, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. Thankfully, unlike Fracture Hills, we should be able to complete this area in our first visit. So we'll definitely take care of everything we can around here. It's definitely going to be a lot of things we need to grab, and it's definitely going to be some interesting missions we got to take care of in this area. So we definitely got our work cut out for us. So while we're dealing with some of the things here, some other things I wanted to mention. So I have been playing a lot of Genshin Impact over the last couple of months, and very recently I managed to make some pretty good headway with my progress in the game, as I am actually at max reputation in the Sumeru region, which, if you don't know, is the area that is both inhabited by a rainforest as well as a desert, and just a really cool location in that game. Bam! Took care of another Earth Shaper there. But yeah, I really like the Sumeru region. Definitely one of my favorite areas in the game, man. I'm very happy to be at max reputation with that place. And since getting to max reputation, I figured at this point, so I'd stop making story progress in that area until a bit later, but now I'm at a point where I feel like I am ready to start making some more story progress. So I've been advancing over into what I believe is now the 4th chapter of the Sumeru storyline. Yeah, there were also a couple story quests I needed to take care of, both to unlock the ability to actually improve my reputation with the area, as well as to unlock a few other things I needed. Ow. Do not do that, sir. knock this Earth Shaper into place. Yeah, get jackhammered, idiot. So we're helping out all the satyrs around here. So that should open up the path over here. So now we can scale the magma cone itself. Want to hop over this way. And look who it is. We got our old pal Moneybags. Ah, boy, what are we gonna do with you? Also, a couple butterflies over here to get ourselves a lot of lives. Very nice indeed. Alright, so obviously got the magma cone over here. And I believe we are gonna need to talk to Moneybags to go forward.
Well, if it isn't my best customer. The elevator in the next room can take you to the volcano. You can have unlimited use of the elevator for a one-time fee of only a few gems.
So now we gotta pay 200 gems to use the elevator. Thankfully, we have been very thorough with collecting gems in these worlds, so we can easily pay this.
It's a pleasure doing business with you. Simply step onto the elevator and it will take you to the bottom. When you want to come back up, just step on it again.
Thank you for that, Moneybags. So I didn't really mention this before, but I feel like the direction of Moneybags' voice is that he's meant to sound like Kelsey Grammer, who is definitely a prolific actor and voice actor in a lot of different things. Like, I know he plays Beast in some of the X-Men movies, and then, of course, his most famous roles is that he plays Frasier, and he is also Sideshow Bob, one of the main villains in The Simpsons. That's probably the role that I mostly know him for. Yeah, definitely is a very fitting voice to go for Moneybags, because it definitely just really makes him sound like a rotten scumbag. Alright, so over here we're at the actual magma cone we gotta take care of. Yeah, the one we saw earlier was just a small one. It was only a model. So over here we gotta be very careful around the navigating through this area. We got large magma balls that are gonna fall from the cone. And we got to very carefully maneuver around here to get where we need to go. Alright, so we're gonna need to make our way to the top now. Just evade all the magma balls, and once we reach the top, we're able to close it.
Thanks for closing the lid on the volcano, Spyro. Things were getting a little too hot around here. By the way, here's a talisman I was saving for the party later. I think you deserve it more.
And by helping out the Fawns, we got ourselves another talisman. Very good indeed. So we could end the level now. However, we got ourselves some other missions to take care of. I can see we got some those jars we can hit that are going to get us some goodies. And also got some stuff over here to grab.
Hey, Spyro. You're just in time for the party. Well, you would be if those nasty lava monsters hadn't stolen our hats. It just won't be the same without party hats.
So now our mission is to help these guys take care of these lava monsters. Quite like the design of these guys. They're kind of cute, but also grotesque in a way, which I always like when it comes to a monster design. But yeah, we got a ton of these guys to deal with. Just got to use our fire attacks or the magma balls that we can pick up around here in order to blast these guys. This mission really isn't too bad. Guys are scattered all around the magma cone, so as long as you're persistent and know where to go, you should be good. It's got 2 more to deal with. where is this last guy? Go ahead and grab that gem. Then probably want to raise a bit higher to get this last guy. Oh, there you are. Take that.
Thanks, Spyro. You saved the party. Here, this got mixed in with the cheese balls, and I almost chipped a tooth on it.
So by helping them get the party hats, we're able to get another orb. And with that, we now have 40 orbs. So now that we have that amount, we are actually good in order to make our way to the last world of the game and face the final boss. Yeah, we only need 40 orbs in order to finish up the game. However, we're not going to do that because we still have some other stuff to take care of. Still got quite a few gems we need to get, and then of course we have some more orbs. So for next objective, so actually probably want to head this way. Yeah, Sparx is taking us over this way, it seems. So after making our way back up here to the smaller lava cone, so we're gonna want to, I believe we need to fly over this way. Not that angle. Okay, so we need it to get up there. Alright, this one isn't too bad. We should be able to just reach it from here. Yeah, very good. Then we can enter the inside of this cone here, which actually leads into a frosty cave. Quite the interesting location here. And we should be able to gather... Actually, there's another gem we gotta get. So we'll grab those later.
Hey, Spyro. Check out this cool cave I found. Let's play a little game. Every so often, a piece of this crystal popcorn pops out of the ground. The first one to grab 10 of them wins.
So we got ourselves another minigame to play with Hunter.
I'm ready when you are.
So this is another mission that I see commonly described as one of the more tricky ones in this game. Our mission is very simple. We gotta gather the crystal popcorn before Hunter does. You will see the crystals popping out of the cracks in the ground by the gas that is venting out of the cracks. Simply follow them and you should be able to track down where the crystals are gonna pop up. And just gotta snatch the goal amount before Hunter does. It can also be a good idea to try and tail Hunter in order to figure out where you need to go in order to get these things.
Okay, you win. Here's an orb.
Thank you, buddy. But we are not done here.
I'll give you another orb if you can beat me again. Let's play to 15 this time. What do you say?
You're on.
I'm ready when you are.
So now we gotta gather 15 crystals. We need to be really, really persistent at this. It's definitely one of the trickier missions in this game if you are not prepared. As I said, just pay attention to where the gas is coming out of the cracks, and you should be good. Oh, we got that one. Over this way. Alright, you can grab that one. I've got this one. And next one is over here. I think I got that one. Right, very nice, very nice. Alright, we can grab one here. Then... I don't know if I was able to grab that one. Alright, we are just about done. Just need one more crystal. There we go.
You're really good. I'm gonna have to come up with some harder games. For now, I'll take this orb. I guess you earned it.
What's the matter, Hunter? Not feeling so confident now that I'm stealing your thunder? You know, this was still a pretty fun minigame, all things considered. And I really do like the look of this place, just God, the ice looks so cool. They really did a good job with making this game look amazing. I really have to give it to Toys for Bob. They know how to make a very pretty game. Yeah, we are almost done here. So I think we just need one more gem, and I'm going to be so embarrassed because of this thing's location. Right there! That was the last gem we needed to get. Are you kidding me? Ah, man. It's always when you... It's always in the frickin' last place you look, and it's usually in the most obvious of spots, too. Take that, you jerk. Alright, but with that taken care of, we are done here in Magma Cone. We managed to help out the satyrs, and also managed to get the last of the orbs we needed, thanks to Hunter. So we are done here. Alright, let's take our flight power up, and we should be good to go. Good God, that is dark! I do not know why this game is so kill-happy with its NPCs, but my God, there is so much death. The poor guy didn't even get to see the hot girl fawns over in Fracture Hills. Alright, but with that taken care of, we are just over an hour and a half into this stream session, so I think we are pretty done here so far. Managed to get done a lot of the levels here in Autumn Plains, and we still got quite a few more to do before we're done here. So we'll definitely save that for next time, which, given my current schedule, should be happening pretty soon. So thank you for joining me in another leg of our Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage streams. Next time, we'll be finishing off the last levels here in the Autumn Plains, and then we'll go see if we can find Ripto and Gulp. Until next time, have a good day, and take care, everyone.